Mic check,
All right,
mic check.
folks. We got Garrett and Max. Raise your hands. For those that haven't been here, everybody wants a question. Let's start with Dave, and we'll get going.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. Garrett, also, welcome to GW, by the way. Had a statement of a game tonight. Can you just talk about what was going through your mind your return to the DMV area?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been a long time, but I just want to go out and play hard, play with energy, and I got the best teammates in the world, so that made it a lot easier. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Can you talk about how you guys both got it going from three? What do you think went so well in terms of like the overall offense getting so hot from three-pointers today?
I mean, definitely just us moving the ball. Like you said, we have great teammates. I think we shared the ball and found an open man today, and we were just able to hit open shots, and we just gained momentum from that.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of guys that can make shots, so if we're sharing the ball, the ball's going to go in the basket.
David.
Garrett, it's been quite a journey to sort of get here where you are. Can you just talk about sort of what it felt like to see that first shot go in after all the hard work it took for you to sort of get back on the court?
Yeah, I mean, there's times I didn't think I was play basketball again, so, I mean, I went through a lot, 2.5 years, but seeing the first one go in, all the nerves kind of went away, and from there it was just basketball, so, yeah.
Dave?
Maximus, if you could talk about the defensively, what you guys were able to do out there. I think you guys held it to 21% shooting on the night.
I mean, that's just a great scout from the coaching staff. You know, Saturday we wasn't having the best day defensively, and I think it just carried off Monday. We had a little chip on our shoulder, and we were just I think we was all ready to play. Like, we were just all excited, and it started on the defensive end for us tonight, which led to offense.
Remind me of your names again.
I'm Will.
Will, go ahead.
Hi. Y'all this year were running a lot of three-guard lineups where you had one big in the post and then we're spreading the ball. How so many ball handlers on the court helped the offense flourish in a way that you haven't had the versatility in the past?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of guys that can do a lot of things. Like you said, a lot of versatility. So when you got skilled guys, if we share the ball and play the right way, good things are going to happen. So.
Definitely.
Remind me of your name again.
Ryan.
Ryan, go ahead.
Max, this one's for you. Your second year here at George Washington, and you're kind of a veteran leader on this team now with how many new guys are here. What was your message to those like Garrett who were playing in their first NCAA game tonight?
It's not even necessarily my message. It's just the whole organization. Just don't matter, get better. Even though G-Money had a great game tonight, we're gonna enjoy the win tonight, and tomorrow or whenever we get back Monday, we just gotta get ready and prepare for Saturday. But it's great having Coach Caputo and the coaching staff trust me to use my voice with these guys.
Ben?
Both of you guys, 5 threes each, 36 three-point attempts as a team. Was that something going into the game you wanted to focus on, three-point shooting? Or did you just think you were hot and then it went on from there?
I mean, from my perspective, I come in to Smith after class some days, and Garrett and Trey or someone's always in there shooting, whether it's in the morning or night. So like again, we have great teammates and great coaching staff where we're in the gym shooting mostly every day. So I don't think it's it wasn't in game plan, but I think we really work on those shots every day.
Dave?
Max, there weren't, especially near the end of last year, there weren't a ton of opportunities for you to get some rest during games. How does it feel to be a part of a team now that has a bit more depth and you can sort of rely on your teammates a bit more?
It's a great feeling. Like we have a lot of new guys that could do a lot of different things. So, especially for JB, for 40 minutes a game, probably Player of the Year candidate. He was able to get rest today, and he was able to chill today. That's good for the rest of the season to have depth. So I enjoyed that.
Dave?
Garrett, first game that you played here is revolutionary in the Smith Center. Your first impressions of the fans, of the atmosphere, of the boisterousness.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun. I've never played in a gym like that. Having the students, the band, that environment was crazy, and it makes it a lot of fun for us to play, and we just need to keep getting that support.
Yeah, what do you think is most important? I get this question for both of you to do between now and the next game to continue this momentum.
Just get ready for Saturday. We got to prepare, and it starts tomorrow with treatment, getting our bodies right, and just listening to whatever they got to tell us about Saturday.
Last question for Student Athens.
Oh, yeah. So Bishop obviously was dishing the ball a lot more, shooting a lot less. Knowing that a lot of attention will be on him, there were some double teams early in the game. What's your mindset knowing you can attack these one-on-one matchups going into the game?
Yeah, I mean, JB gives us a lot of confidence. Obviously, he's done a lot here already, and teams know how good he is. So you know, we're going to be ready for the ball. He's going to find us, and that just kind of speaks to what we did in the summer. And we all trust each other out there, so it makes things a lot easier.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll go back around the room for questions.
Yeah, happy with our group. So many young guys, first timers, or guys who haven't played in quite some time. I thought Stonehill did a good job, but like came out in the zone. I think we knew they played the zone. I didn't think they'd play the zone the first possession, and so I thought a little bit of that, a little bit of our newness, got us a little bit stagnant, maybe quick to shoot, which is fine. Because some of those shots go in. Trey has shot the ball really well in the scrimmages, and then like he was so hyped up today all day. I've been doing this long enough to know when a guy is like that hyped, generally he misses his first 2 shots by like far long. Like he's just so excited. But eventually we settled in. But our defense was very, very good against a team that was a motion offense team, a lot of movement. I thought they came out with some good pace offensively. I told our guys I thought our intensity was okay, our discipline was okay, but our effort was very good. And so, we got to get a little bit more detailed, but I'm not going to complain about 26% or 21% from the field, and that was pretty good. So.
Questions? Soon.
I think from the start, one thing that stood out is there's a lot more spacing now. There's a lot more guys who can shoot the three.
Yeah.
So how do you think this changes how your offense operates and like how far you can go this season?
Well, I wanted to, you wanted to surround James with more shooting. We are less experienced. Lose a guy like Ricky, lose a guy like Brendan, lose a guy like Hunter, who played in a lot of college basketball games and kind of knew their game to some degree. We don't have that as much, right? We've got guys who are a little bit younger trying to learn how they fit in everything. But from just a shooting standpoint, we got many, many more guys who can make threes, which we wanted to surround James with more guys who could do that. The way it worked out, we were a little bit younger in doing it, but when Garrett makes 5, obviously Max can shoot. Benny made 1. Jacoy made 1. Trey went 1 of 8. If I told you in the secret scrimmages he was like 12 of 15 or something, like some crazy number, right? So I've got no worries there. So I feel good about it. I think that can help us. It can help James alleviate some of the pressure, but we're still trying to figure out, okay, how do you take all these pieces and then work them together? I thought last year, if I did anything right, the staff as a first-time head, we kind of look at the 5 guys and figure out, okay, how can they most be successful together? And then we just did that, and then we were able to score, But I'm happy we have more shooting.
Hey, hard to really find any downsides. There's one thing. They had 14 offensive
Abe,
rebounds.
you're bringing me a downside?
Sorry,
There's only one downside, but I'm going to bring it up.
That is exactly what I'm doing.
Go ahead.
So they had 14 offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
The lineups without Stretch out there, we didn't see too much of Keegan.
Mhm.
Small ball.
Yeah, trying to develop. Got Antoine, who's still nursing a hip issue. We were just being safe there, but I don't know what the rebound percentage is, right? But for you analytics folks out there, I think we gave up 10 offensive rebounds in the first half, and we yelled at them about that, but we used the raw number, right? But they were also shooting 17%. So guess what? You're going to miss a lot of them when you've shot 17%, which means more opportunity to go get them. So I don't know what the rebound percentage number is, but certainly there were 3, 4, 5 instances on the glass where, I'm sure this is going to be a good teaching moment. Yeah, for sure.
In the middle of the first half, there was a stretch when JV and Max were both on the bench, and the game wasn't necessarily in hand at that point. Can you talk about what you saw from those minutes without those guys on the court and
Yeah.
how the rest of this?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a necessity for our team. So there's nothing like if I had a bunch of 22, 23-year-old guys that I could put in with experience, I would. But we're going to just ride with those guys, the freshmen. But they're good, so they're going to make mistakes. They're going to probably do a few things that you're like, wish we had a little bit more experience looking back on that particular night. But over time, I just think when you look at the guys we have in the younger classes, and if you would include Max and Benny in that, it's a pretty good group, And so Rome's not built in a day, but they're going to get their opportunities now to learn and make mistakes. And there's that old saying that, hopefully by January, February, you're freshmen or sophomores, And then the whole thing is like, can you learn and win at the same time? We learn and we lose, and it, kind of gets our headlights up, and that's fine, right? But like, can you win by 40 plus? But then, can we learn from the things, or are we just thinking about that? So we're going to have to play those guys, and they're going to have to be good for us now, and then certainly in February, March.
21-2 run to start the second half.
Yeah.
The cliche is that first, up to the under 16 timeout is one of the most crucial stretches of the game. How encouraging was it to see that effort, that execution?
Yeah, I thought the way we did it too, the fashion in which we did it was good. The stops, the runouts, the threes, some effort plays was fun. I didn't mention this, but I thought the fans were incredible. I thought the student section was, I don't know what the number is, but it was fantastic. And that's really what we're trying to get to here, where it's like that every night. And if it is, we're going to have created an incredible environment here, really second to none, because the building's just built for noise.
And then it's one thing to see Garrett in practice, one thing to see him in the secret scrimmages, impressions of his play tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year when Max showed up, I said, he's probably like going to be the rookie of the year or something like that. I think Tanya would say that I said that just in case anybody wants to check me on that. And I think, again, I don't know that that's the case for Garrett, but he's in that category. Right now he's a little bit older freshman, so by age, whereas like June is a freshman, and he redshirted, and he's the third youngest guy on our team. Right, but yeah, Garrett's in that category. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of first-year players as good as Garrett Johnson in this league.
Coach, your team's field goal percentage jumped 10 points from the first half to the second half. What was the message, regarding shooting?
It's probably more Stonehill than us. I thought they did a nice job in the first half of just changing their defenses, and they play a funky zone. We actually play the same zone for the same reason they probably do, because it's a little funky, and like you have these decisions to make, like, are we going to put in like 7 things against this zone that we're going to see one time, and we don't even know how much we're going to see it, so we tried to do a couple of drops at times against it, but we wound up just, I think, making better choices, and we put a little bit more of our attackers on the wing and not up top, so that when it went to the wing, we attacked from the wing and not from the top.
Coach, as you said, you have a young team this year. Mm-hmm. It's the first collegiate game for a lot of your roster. How did you try to prep these guys for that adjustment to being in this new electric atmosphere? Yeah.
I just told them before the game that, this is 22 years for me. It's, 2 years as a head coach, but 20 years as an assistant, and a lot of cool games that I've competed in, and it's like there's not one of those, no matter what year, that you're not a little bit nervous before that, and those are good butterflies, like people, those are good butterflies. But the one thing that's never changed is that the minute the ball was tipped up, I'm never nervous again. Then you're just in competition, right? And so it's okay to feel a little bit nervous, but hey, once they throw it up, hey, we're just competing like you've been doing your whole life. And so I did mention that. I hope it helps. But yeah, I mean, the good news is we created an environment that could get you a little nervous, if you're a first-time guy or even the opponent, which is great,
Stretch had 4 blocks. How does having like a defensive presence in the post shift the way you play your zone and shift how you attack on defense?
Yeah. Last year we moved to like a little bit more of a drop, like with the center and the pick and roll, and it was fine. But quite honestly, Hunter's not like a shot blocker, you know. Now we have somebody back there. We might give up a little bit of like playmaking ability on the perimeter, but man, we have a guy who's a presence, and he can be a help defender, moving laterally in pick and roll defense, but also a guy who can vertically help you, which is, you know, sometimes there's guys who can vertically help, they can't move. Sometimes there's guys who can move, they can't help vertically. He can do both. You know, he can move, cover ground, and also up in the air.
You mentioned to me last week that you wanted the team to learn while winning.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got the win
Yeah.
tonight. What do you think the team learned? What did they take away
You know, again, I'm going to have to watch before I start disseminating information to them. But I think that, you know, I think some of the blockout stuff will be prevalent. I think the pace of like, and we're trying to get into action a little bit faster, and so I think we'll see some of that'll rear its head. And then I think our best possessions were when the ball popped around. Again, I'm going to give Stonehill credit. They didn't let you pop it around. When they switch 1 through 5 and play zone, it's not as easy to pop it. You don't get a trigger. You don't get two guys on it where it's easy to get off it. And now we call it like dominoes, right? Then the dominoes have hit, you know. But I do think like you have to then work for those possessions against switching and stuff, where you got to be a little bit more intentional about like not surrendering to it and just say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to raise up and shoot this. Now, we had a couple of raise up and shoot ones that went in, those are good too. Yeah.
JB had a quieter night on, at least from the points total. Was that sort of the plan going forward, to have him sort of seed the offense to Max and Garrett and the other guys? Or is he still obviously going to be?
No, he's going to be, you know, he wants to win. He wants to play the right way. Just, you know, again, I thought it was a little bit of the way Stonehill played. I was not sure that they would switch their center onto him. The first thing we do is run middle pick and roll to see if they'll switch first play. And they were in the zone. And then the next time we got a chance to run some middle pick and roll 1-5, they switched. I said, all right, well, they're just going to try to keep him in front all night, and we're going to have to work a little bit. So, yeah, no, I mean, there's never a game plan that says, hey, James, you're not going to, like, score tonight. That would not be a good game plan.
Yeah, Keegan Harvey obviously bulked up a ton.
Yeah, he looks good. Yeah.
Last year he was kind of known for hanging the perimeter with limited minutes. Now healthy, he looked much more confident driving to the basket on his 2 points. A lot more presence in the post on defense. What do you see the
stronger? He looks stronger. Yeah, I just think every guy is like on their own. They're running their own race for their development, and within that, guys got to figure out how they can value add in this particular moment, whether it be the start of the season, the middle of the season, a particular game, or what have you. And so for him, he's got a skill set. He's stronger physically now. Now we got to hope that, you know, as we get going forward, we can figure out how to best utilize him. He can figure out how to best value add to what we're doing.
More questions?
We're good.
Okay, we're good.
Thanks, gang.
Thanks, everybody.